So yeah, this is part 3 on how my baby mama went to prison and is facing life, and now I got custody of my daughter. So yeah, I got the information. I have to go to court and file for custody. So I do so. When I file for custody, one of the things that I have to do is I have to get her served so she can come to court, right? So I had to pay this guy $100 to track her down. That's how I got the address to where she was at. And he found her within an hour, and he served her, and boom. That's how we got her to come to court. So we go to court. Judge basically awards me partial custody, which is basically visitation rights. So I get my daughter every other weekend for 1 day. Yeah, so that's every other Saturday to Sunday. 1 day. Whatever, cool, I do it. You know, after a while, their car broke down. They didn't have a way to meet me. Cool. Still FaceTime my daughter, still made a way out there, me and my son or whatnot. You know, now Tatum has 2 little sisters. One from the guy in Oklahoma and another little sister from her mom's current boyfriend or husband or whatever, right? So when I couldn't make it out there, we FaceTime. And she would call often, and I'd answer the phone, and I'm like, hey, baby. And she's like, hey, daddy. And then she's like, hi, Cash, because Cash always be sitting there with me, wanting to talk to her sister. And then her little sister would jump in the camera and say, hi, daddy. And then you'll hear her mom yelling in the background, that's not your dad. So I'm like, you know, hey, little baby, whatever. And then she'd be like, hi, Cash. And Cash would be like, hi. So that went on for a while or whatnot. And then Christmas of 2023 came around. And me and her mother agreed to let her come, you know, spend a week with me for Christmas. Which became another problem because the halfway meetup point that the judge court ordered and we all agreed on, all of a sudden now is too far for them to drive to. And they don't want to drive there. Whatever. I wanted to see my daughter and wanted to spend Christmas with her. So I drove a little further. So me, my son, and my daughter had a wonderful Christmas that we spent. We got to visit family and, you know, everybody got to see the kids all together, and it was wonderful. It was great, you know. And then I dropped Tatum back off with her mom, and, you know, we went on about our normal routine. Well, just like I always do, you know, after a week or so I haven't heard from Tatum, I'll start reaching out and figure out what's going on, like if everything is okay. So that's what I did. Plus, in the back of my mind, I wanted to know if her mom had gave her a Christmas after she left my house. So after reaching out to Tatum on her iPad and she wasn't answering, I started reaching out to her mother. That's when her mother told me that she's been acting up and she ended up breaking her iPad and she's not getting any more electronics or whatnot. So yeah, January is making its ending and I decided to reach out again. So I'm like, hey, Sarah, you know, how's Tatum? Is she okay? She like, yeah, she's at school. I'll have her hit you when she get out of school, which is about 6 o'clock. I say, okay, cool. Before you know it, February is here and it's Valentine's Day. And I'm thinking, damn, I ain't talked to my baby. Like, she said she was gonna hit me, but they never called. So I was like, I want to send her something for Valentine's. So I'm like, let me reach out to her mom and see what's up. So when I went onto the Facebook Messenger to hit up Sarah, like I always do, I couldn't find our previous message. So I'm scrolling, and I'm looking, and I finally see the profile says user unfound or whatever. So I'm like, oh, here we go. So after that, I went back to the text messages. When I checked the text messages, I noticed all the texts that I sent her on Christmas, she never got. They was all read. So this when I tried to call her number. When I called her number, it was disconnected. So I'm like, okay, this ain't part of the court order. You're supposed to keep an open line of communication. So I called Barstow Police Information, and I talked to an officer, and I told him, hey, look, I haven't seen my daughter in a few months, haven't spoke to them. We have a court order where she's supposed to keep an open line of communication, and it hasn't been happening. So she's like, what's the address? I'll send the officer over. Stay tuned for part 4. Getting juicy.